How's it going, everyone? This is Jake Baker here to cover all things football with the Bloomington Edge. Here I'm going to talk some fantasy football with you guys, just some weekly standouts, injury updates, some matchups, and some picks for this upcoming week. First thing I want to talk about are the standouts from this past week. Alex Smith had a huge game, which isn't very characteristic of him to throw for over 300 yards, but he had a really good game, threw for 4 touchdowns against the defending Super Bowl champs. So stunned him this past week. I thought that was really good performance. Put up 31 points, great for a lot of fantasy owners. If someone did start Alex Smith, which isn't a ton of people I know, but real good game from him. Next guy, Kareem Hunt. I don't know if you guys are following how closely you guys are following the blog, but the first video that I put up before the season started, he was in my top 5 sleepers. Told you guys to start him this week, but I'm sure a lot of you still didn't have him in your starting lineup, which was hard to watch him put up 45.6 points, which was tops among anyone this week. He had a huge game, 17 attempts, 148 yards, a touchdown, 5 receptions, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Real big game from Kareem Hunt. He's probably going to be doing the same thing throughout the season. So if you got him in your starting lineup, it's time to put him in there right now. So important to note that. Tariq Cohen, guy for the Bears, who was a standout performance, 5 attempts, 66 yards, 8 receptions, 47 yards, and a touchdown. Put up 25 points this week, which wasn't expected from the Bears playing the Falcons. Everyone thought it was going to be a big blowout, but the Bears actually probably should have been in that game or won that game in the last minutes if Jordan Howard pulls in that reception from Mike Lennon in the final closing minutes. But it is what it is. They gave him a run for their money. I'm excited to see if the Bears are going to go out and beat the Bucs this week. We'll see. Next guy, Antonio Brown, 29.2 points. Pretty typical game for him. He's going to be a consistent guy, getting his touches, getting his yards. I know owners would want to see him get in the end zone, but 11 receptions, 182 yards is nothing you can complain too much about. So he had a good game. Next guy, Tyreek Hill. He's someone who's going to be a real electric player for Kansas City, transitioning from the running back spot to the wide receiver spot. Obviously, didn't really have any issues with that. 7 receptions, 133 yards, and a touchdown. Real electric guy. He was out for the game for a little while with some cramps, but it's not going to be any issues. This week, not a super huge week for fantasy owners. Not a ton of points put up. These were some of the standouts, but again, not a super big week for points. I really only scored, I think, about 85 points, and I know some other guys in my league didn't even get to 80. So kind of a slow week. Hopefully, we'll see a pickup next week. Some injury updates this past week. It was kind of a bad week for injuries in that regard. A lot of big guys went down. The first one being David Johnson. I know he's probably a lot of number 1 picks in your guys' lineups, which is tough to see. Wrist injuries out for 2 to 3 months on the injured reserve, so it's tough to see for sure. Good news is Odell Beckham Jr. took the week off, which I think was a smart thing to do, and he should be good to go this week. I think he's going to have a huge game. Wanted to get the Giants' first win. They're playing Monday Night Football, I believe, so I'm sure he's going to like the stage. He's going to light him up, so we'll see Odell in the lineup there, I'm sure. Next one, Danny Woodhead. A shame. I really like this guy. He's a good flex position guy. If you don't have him, he gets in the end zone. He gets you a pretty solid, 9 or 10 points every week. He's a reliable guy. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks though with a hamstring injury, which is a shame. Next guy, Allen Robinson, real red zone threat for the Jaguars, so they're going to have to start leaning on their other receivers now. He has a torn ACL. He's going to be out for this season. Young guy, real shame that he's going to have to miss this season. Kevin White, this guy can't seem to catch a break for the Bears. He has a fractured scapula. He's going to be a season-ending injury. Kind of a bust for the Bears, I think, now. He's just can't stay on the field. So former number 1 pick, turned bust there for you. Eric Berry, the guy who was battling cancer, came back to be a Pro Bowler, and now he's got a ruptured Achilles. Hate to see that. He's out for the year. A real leader for the Kansas City defense. So if you guys do have that defense, it's important to note that one of their leaders is going to be out for the season. So just check those injuries out. If there's a couple other minor ones throughout the week that I know I didn't cover, but definitely check some of the NFL news to get those minor ones. But these are some of the major ones that happened this week. Not a real good week for injuries. Again, like I said, David Johnson going down. Tough week for some of the owners, I'm sure. Here's some key matchups. These are just put these up here if you guys want to pause the video, take a look. Not too many awesome matchups this week, but there's still going to be some good games. New York, Detroit's going to be a good one. Pretty talented teams there on Monday night, but pause the video, check them out, see what you guys want to watch this week. Here are my next week's picks. These are some guys that I think are going to either bounce back or just have a real good week against some of their teams, some of the former teams they had. So first one being Brandon Cooks. He's playing the Saints this week, which is his former team, and I think he's going to have a real big game. I'm sure Tom's going to try to get him the ball as much as he can because everyone knows that a former star is going to want to burn their former team. So I think we're going to see Brandon Cooks have a pretty strong performance with New England this week. Next one, Mike Lennon. He's going up against the Buccaneers this week. I'm looking for the Bears to get a win the way they performed against Atlanta. Either Atlanta was off their game or the Bears played well. I'm not sure which one it is, but I'm sure we'll find out this week. Mike Lennon said in his interview he's hungry to get out there and play his former team, so I'm excited to see that matchup. Next guy, Russell Wilson, kind of had a rough week against he had a rough week against the Packers. Didn't throw for ton of yards. Disappointed a lot of fantasy owners, but he's a real good quarterback. He's going to bounce again back against the 49ers, which is a real good team to bounce back against, I'm sure. So he's going to get his confidence back. I'm sure the Seahawks are good on a roll here. Next guy, Odell Beckham Jr. Monday Night Football, which is where this guy lives in fantasy. I'm sure he's gonna have a real big week this week. So make sure you get him back in your lineups. He should be good to go. I know he's still listed in questionable in a lot of your leagues, but a lot of the sources are saying that he should be good to go this week, especially after taking that week off. All right, so I just want to thank you guys for checking out the video. If you guys like the video, be sure to like it and share it with your friends. Let everyone know about it. Also, check out our Facebook page, Bloomington Edge, and our Twitter for the Bloomington Edge, and also check out our website for any events that are coming up. Check out some ticket packages. Make sure you guys try to come out to a game this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of big things coming this year. So thanks again, and good luck with your fantasy this week.